Hi, I'm Julia Jolie, an immigrant woman living in California, and I want to know how to make it in America. You might already know that I love being all glamorous on a budget, but in this show, I want to know all the tips and tricks of America's top entrepreneurs. Our guest today is Pat O'Brien. Pat has been in the business for over 3 decades. He's been covering anything from the Olympics, actually 9 times, plus the Super Bowl, and he's been the host of The Insider and Access Hollywood. Pat, it's such a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Congratulations on this.
So we probably have a lot of viewers who want to become hosts. How does one start a career in hosting?
Ugh. You don't start a career in hosting, you get the career in hosting. Mm-hmm. You should start out maybe as a reporter, get into a position. Hosting is, you were born with it. Obviously, you know what you're doing. There's no way to practice for it. This is a business that you cannot prepare.
Did you always want to be in the entertainment business?
Yeah, well, I guess so. I started out as a tap dancer at 3 years old.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and I'm good.
Can you still tap dance?
Absolutely.
Wow.
And I was on the road at 3. When I was 3 and 5, I was just a cute little kid with a tuxedo, but I could tap dance. I still can.
Wow.
And that's show business. And then I went to work for David Brinkley, as I said. And I went from one job to another. I never had to look for a job.
Wow.
Because I was confident in my talents, and my talents were wanted.
You would find brilliant ways to set yourself apart on the red carpet, and like I'm referring to the moment with Julia Roberts, for example, where you whispered something in her ear.
You know what I whispered in her ear?
What?
Laugh.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
I said, do me a favor, just laugh as hard as you can. And then on the show that night, what was Julia Roberts laughing about?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Wow, so you just came up with that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to create, television is a series of moments. And you have to create a series of moments. If you don't just wait for them to come up to you and put a microphone in their face. Hug them, have some conversation before. Like the Julia Roberts thing is a perfect example.
So, okay, tell me, what's your secret to success?
My beautiful face. No, the secret to success in Hollywood is to never stop. Never stop trying. You get a lot of no's. You got to go through a lot of doors. I've been fortunate. I've had a brilliant and blessed career. But you go from one job to another, and the key is to not piss off anybody at that job. I mean, make sure you know who the key people are in a job and suck up to them. But if you're hired, they want you. So you shouldn't go in with your tail behind your legs, between your legs. If they hired you, you're there for a reason. So you go in knowing that they want you.
Okay, I like that. So how did you start?
Let's see, would you say 3 decades? I've had such a blessed career. I started out working for David Brinkley from the Huntley Brinkley Report, and in Washington, D.C., and I worked in politics for a while. And I went from David, who was one of the most famous anchormen in history. I went from David, I went to Chicago, did local news, never forget local news, and then came out here. I just went from one thing to another, and it's been great for me.
Which job was your favorite job?
Well, I think hosting Olympics is always great. I've done a bunch of them, and it's such an international, obviously, community. And you know, when you're in the middle of and running it, sort of throwing people from one place to another on television, you have to know everything, and you get to meet everybody.
Yeah.
Plus, the parties are fun. Those days are over, by the way. But yeah, the Olympics are great, and I loved the NBA. I did the NBA for 10 years. But in my generation, or in my time, I had Bird and Magic and Kareem and all those guys, so it wasn't that easy, wasn't that difficult.
Wow, that's so
to be
cool.
good.
So, do you have any cool celebrity stories?
Well, they're all cool. I mean, when you, at that level, it's amazing to me that I did all that. But when you're sitting there and you're always getting the top guys on the red carpet, because I've been in so long, and they all either knew me from sports or they knew me. So people would come to me and line up. And so the story is, the other actors, the other reporters would go, Pat, come on, give us a break, But I can't help it. I was well known in the business, and I was fair. I was never really tough on anybody, unless I had to be. There's an easy way to ask a tough question. Don't make it the first question. But yeah, I mean, they're all great because, you know, and I go into them trying to find out more about them. You know, if I'm interviewing somebody, it'll be at a high level. Most everybody knows everything about that person. But I'll try to find something within the interview that people don't know about.
So, what is the hardest part about being a Hollywood host?
The hardest part is when people don't answer questions and you just stare off.
Yeah.
Or people aren't forthcoming. I forget who it was. Somebody, it was Robert De Niro. He's ask me a question. I'm Robert De Niro. He's sitting like this.
Really?
So just ask me a question that you would ask Robert De Niro.
How was the last movie? No way, really?
That's what he does. Finally, I said, Bob, this is my living.
Yeah.
You have to open your mouth. You have to
me
actually say something.
Yeah.
But he would answer everything with, yeah, like that.
Oh, no.
And I scolded him. I said, Bob, you got to talk. Come on.
Yeah.
This is how I make my living. But, you know, be prepared, but know exactly who you're working with.
So, do you have anything else that you would like to share on how to make it in America?
Well, you have to be honest, and you have to be yourself. People that try to interview and try to host something, and they're not themselves, and they come on, hey, like that.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. If you're yourself, and if you're likable, it'll come out.
Okay.
If you're not, that may be a plus. People may turn you on to hate you. But I've been blessed that people like me. So.
Yeah, you're very likable. You're the best. So thank you so much for coming in today. I'm so happy you were here.
Thank you. Great.
Thank you.
Let's do it again.
Mwah.